Hello everyone, so welcome again with a new video, a new chapter, ecosystem. Okay, so when we are telling ecosystem, as maybe you have already studied earlier about this one, okay, so that means we are talking about interaction between two substances. What are the two substances? One is a biotic substance and other is an abiotic substance. Okay, so the interaction, that is a to and fro interaction between the two biotic and abiotic substances together forms an ecosystem. Okay, that means in a proper sense we can say that ecosystem is a self-sustained and self-regulated segment of nature or landscape, okay, where living organisms interact and exchange materials among themselves and with their physical environment. That means when we are talking about abiotic factor, so definitely it is representing the physical environment, our surrounding. Biotic factor, that means the living thing, whether it is a plant or animal, isn't it? So that means here two or more organisms will interact with one another. Then they will interact with their abiotic environment, and all these interactions together form an ecosystem. Okay. Now, first of all, the term ecosystem was coined by Arthur Tensley, okay, in the year 1935. Then while coming through this ecosystem, we come to a term that is called biotope. So what is biotope? The area of an ecosystem with uniform environmental conditions. Okay, that means the area where all the environmental conditions are maintained in a balanced manner. Okay, all are in a proper equilibrium. So that is called biotope. Again, another term, that is homeostasis. Now, homeostasis normally we study in case of human beings, isn't it? That in organism and population chapter we have already considered or studied about homeostasis. That means the internal regulation, internal resistance that an animal or organism develops, isn't it? But here a particular equilibrium is maintained in the ecosystem, and that particular equilibrium is known as homeostasis. Okay, that means the various components, their interactions all will maintain a proper balance, equilibrium. Okay, so now for maintaining the balance, actually homeostasis, some particular factors are needed. So what are they? The carrying capacity of the environment, that means how much it can resist, how much carrying capacity it can provide. Okay, then the capacity of the ecosystem for recycling of waste, that means how many substances it can recycle and reuse so that nothing can be wasted. Capacity of ecosystem for recycling of waste. Okay, yes. Then self-regulation through the effect of density on reproductive potential. Okay, that means the reproduction process will be regulated properly so that the balance is maintained properly. Then a feedback system where one living organism or one living component controls the population of another living component. Okay, so these are the four factors which are needed for maintaining the homeostasis or equilibrium in a particular ecosystem. Okay, now let us discuss about the different types of components that are present in an ecosystem. Okay, so when we are talking about the components of ecosystem, so first thing comes is the biotic component. That means the living part of the ecosystem. This consists of producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers means the green plants, okay, which will utilize the solar energy and convert it to chemical energy and will help the plants, that means, and will prepare the food, that is carbohydrate. Okay, this is the main source, okay, the main thing in the ecosystem which is preparing the food. Okay, from that producers, the food will be transferred from one trophic level to the next trophic level. Moreover, they are helpful in maintaining the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is the main function of the producers, our green plants, the photosynthetic autotrophic plants. Then next comes the consumers. The consumers consist of both herbivores as well as the carnivores. If we are telling about the herbivores, that means they will consume the producers, that is the green plants. And if we are considering the carnivores, that means they will consume the herbivores. So both are consumers, so they are considered to be the next part of the biotic component. And the third one is the decomposers. So when we are talking about decomposers, so these are definitely microorganisms, the saprophytes, which live on the organic food that is present in the dead remains of plants and animals. Okay, so decomposers are the microorganisms, saprophytes, which are living on that. So ultimately these are the three main components, biotic components of an ecosystem. Okay, then next comes the abiotic components. Then next the abiotic factors. So when we are talking about abiotic factor, the first comes is the temperature. Okay, so temperature, which is different for different regions. So based on the differences of temperature, definitely different life zones are created. Now the organisms which are present in hot areas, definitely they cannot survive in cold areas, isn't it? So that ecosystem is different than the colder one. So based on the temperature variation, organisms are distributed differently. Now in this regard, we get a rule, that is the Glogger's rule, which says that the animals which are present in warmer areas, they have, the warm-blooded animals which are present in colder areas, they have a little pigmentation. That means maximum they are white in color. Okay, and then the animals or organisms which are present in arid climates, they are yellow, brown or red in color, while those in hot areas are black. That means the same organism, it will show different type of pigmentation color, okay, based on the temperature variation. So that is according to our Glogger's rule. Then light also plays an important role because it traps the solar energy, convert it to chemical energy which is used by plants and animals ultimately. Okay, then wind also plays an important role, humidity, precipitation, pH, topography, all these plays important role in the ecosystem. That means maintaining the ecosystem, and that means what type of organisms will be present, these are also determined by these factors. Then water, it is the most essential part of the organism, isn't it? So based on the water availability, plants and animals, they are divided into xerophytes, hydrophytes, isn't it? You have already studied about this. Xerophyte means the plants which or animals which are present in dry areas, hydrophytes which are present in water areas, aquatic areas. So accordingly their adaptations will be different. So all these things are the abiotic factors which are present in an ecosystem. Okay, they together constitutes the ecosystem. Now after these components, we come to the structure. So what is actually the structure of an ecosystem? So the structure of ecosystem consists of 5 main components: species composition, stratification, trophic structure, standing crop and standing stream. Okay, now species composition means what type of species are present in an ecosystem. Now definitely different ecosystem will have different number of species composition. Some type of ecosystem has lots and lots of organisms, variety of organisms, whereas some will show very less variations. Okay, now as for example in the tropical rainforest and coral reef, they show maximum species composition. That means maximum species diversity is observed there, whereas deserts and the Arctic regions, they show minimum species composition. Okay, so these are important, maximum and minimum range, you have to know it. Then next comes the stratification. Stratification, it occurs when we are studying about a forest ecosystem. Okay, that means it is the vertical zonation of the ecosystem. Suppose we are studying a particular plant or a forest area, so definitely the trees are having their canopies. The forest, we can study the canopy. Some will be short plants, some will be tall plants. So based on that, if the environmental conditions are all suitable, then maximum 5 to 7 stratas we are obtaining in a tropical rainforest. That means there will be different varieties of trees, like tall trees, canopy trees, understory trees, shrub layer, herb layers, then grass level plants. Okay, so all these together constitutes the stratification. But in case of deserts, this type of stratification is actually absent. Okay, so next we come to the trophic structure. Trophic structure, this is the ecosystem structure which is influenced by the type, amount and level at which food is available. Okay, so that means the ecosystem, it is influenced by all the different types of or levels of food that is being available. Okay, the number of trophic levels, food chains, how many food chains are there, how many food webs are there, all that will determine the complexity of ecosystem. That means if more the number of food chain, it will be a complex ecosystem. If only one or two are present, then definitely it is a simple type of ecosystem. So this is what is called our trophic structure. Then the fourth point is the standing crop. Now these are definitely new terms we are getting. It is the amount of living biomass or number of living organisms present in an unit area of an ecosystem. Now if we are studying an ecosystem, we are considering a small area, suppose. So that area, how many organisms are present, that is called the standing crop. Okay, and it is measured either as fresh weight or dry weight. Okay, normally the dry weight is more preferred than the fresh weight. Then next comes our standing state. Standing state means the total amount of inorganic nutrients which are present in the growth medium of the plant of an ecosystem. Okay, that means what in the plant different types of growth materials are present, all the inorganic parts that will constitute the standing state. And it varies from season to season, because during the favorable seasons maximum number of inorganic nutrients will be present, in unfavorable seasons it will be less. So this is what is standing state. Okay, so all these are the different structure points regarding our ecosystem. Okay, so we have discussed about what is ecosystem, biotope, homeostasis. Then we have come across the structure of ecosystem. Then we have come across the components of ecosystem. Now another important thing is that when we are studying about ecosystem, definitely we get different types of ecosystem. So let us just put an overlook through what are the different types of ecosystems present in our surroundings. So first is the natural type of ecosystem. Natural ecosystem means the ecosystem which is created by the nature. Okay, here no human contribution is there. As for example, the desert, forest, rivers, all these are natural ecosystem. Artificial ecosystem means the man-made ecosystem. Okay, this is also known as the anthropogenic ecosystem. As for example, our kitchen garden, aquarium, crop fields. Then terrestrial ecosystem means the ecosystem which is present over land, like forest, grasslands. Okay, aquatic means the water ecosystem which is present in water bodies, fresh water, salt water, all these come under aquatic. Large ecosystem means when we are considering a huge area. So when a very large ecosystem is studied, it is known as mega ecosystem. As for example, the sea. If a large ecosystem, then it is called macro ecosystem. As for example, a forest. Okay, when we are studying about a smaller area, then it is known as micro ecosystem, and a very small one like an aquarium, then it is called a nano ecosystem. Then permanent means the ecosystem which persists for a longer duration, for example lake, forest. Temporary means which exist for a shorter period. Now temporary ecosystem means, suppose in a depression is there in a particular land, then water is falling, rainwater, it creates a temporary ecosystem, okay, and that ecosystem will definitely have most of the components, but still some of the components will be absent, so that particular ecosystem is also known as an incomplete ecosystem. And the complete ecosystem means the ecosystem where all the basic requirements, that means biotic, abiotic factors, all are present, okay. So these are the different types of ecosystems. So hope this video is clear to you. Go through it properly, go through your books, your notes, everything. If you have any problem, then let me know.